Well, now here's a great card trick you can do, and especially if you do it for your magician friends, you might even fool them with this. They'll think you're doing one thing when you're really not. This is what it looks like. You would take a deck, borrowed deck if you want, and have your spectators shuffle it up all they want. Always a good thing. And what they're going to do is they're going to select a small packet of cards out of this completely shuffled deck. It doesn't matter which packets which cards they take or how many they take. So you'll just tell them, I'll pull out any 8, 10, 12 cards you want, and they would do that. So let's say they take them off the top. They don't have to, but let's just say for the sake of the video, they just take them off the top here. And they want that packet. Okay, we'll set the rest of the deck aside. Now they have freely selected, truly, they have freely selected a packet of cards that they want to do this trick with at random. And what you're going to do is you're going to help them by picking them up and showing them the faces of these cards while you look away and say, I want you to just think about one of the cards in the packet that you chose. I want you to think about and remember that one card, okay? So I'm going to go through them. I'll turn my head and you just look at each card and you'll decide which one you're going to memorize, okay? Okay, so you got it? All right, so they will have memorized one of those cards. Now, for the sake of this video, since there's no spectator here, we're going to have to look at one of these cards just so I can demonstrate this. But in the real trick, you wouldn't need to know what card they're thinking of yet. You'll figure it out later. And so you would tell them from your packet, what I want you to do is go through and take out the card you're thinking of, but hold it to your chest or put it on the table, hold it down so I can't see it. And by the way, if you want to change your mind at this point, you can even do that. You don't have to pick the one you were thinking. You can pick a new one if you want, but take a card out of the packet and don't let me see it. That will be your selected card. So let's say they go through the packet and you wouldn't see this, and let's just say they remember this card. Now we're going to look at it for the sake of this tutorial. You'll remember that card, okay? So they've got this card. They can have it in their pocket or aside, whatever. And then they've got their packet of cards that they selected from. Now, here's what we're going to do. You say, now, right now it'd be easy for me to find your card. The one thing I know about it is it's right there. Ta-da! I found it. But we're going to make that harder. So what I want you to do is I want you to take that packet of cards that you selected, and I want you to shuffle them up just like this, like I'm doing with the deck here. So they will do that. They can shuffle this up all they want. Let's just say they did that. They don't have to be cut. They can be really shuffled, and they can do all that shuffling. So I want you to shuffle those up just like this, okay? And then what I want you to do is take your shuffled packet, put it on top of my shuffled packet, which they will do like that. Okay, now, one thing I know about your card is that it's right there. It's going to be easy for me to find, so we have to lose it in all these shuffled cards. So what you're going to do is I want you to take your card, put it on top of the deck, which they will do. No problem so far. Again, your card, easy to find. But I'm going to ask you to cut the deck, okay? And this is where you're going to lose your magician friends here in just a second. They're going to think you're doing one thing when you're not. Your spectator can cut the deck wherever they want to. We know that's their card, and they know that's their card, but we're going to make it really hard to find it because we're going to ask them now to shuffle this part of the deck, and that they will do as well. So they're going to shuffle this up all they want. And now, for the last chance cafe, we're going to hide this card in the deck. We don't know how many cards are here, which ones they are, but their chosen card is now safely hidden in the middle of this deck. You can say, one thing I know about your card, I don't know where it is or what it is, but it's in there somewhere. And so what we're going to do is try and find this. Now, I don't know how to find a card like that. I have to have some help. And I usually get help from a very special card in the deck, and it's the 5 of diamonds. Very few people realize that the 5 of diamonds has special powers. It's true. It's actually called the metal detector card. It can find things just like a metal detector. Watch, you can hear it, in fact, when you go like this. Did you hear that? Did you hear that sound? Here, watch. Yep, that clicking sound is the 5 of hearts working hard and going through the deck, and it's listening for a card, the one that you were thinking of. And if we go like this, we can slow down a little bit. You hear that clicking? Somewhere in here, it really likes one of these cards. It really likes the one you were thinking of, the Queen of Diamonds. That is the metal detector trick. Now, if you know a little bit about magic, you may have thought I was going to use a key card, right? When we were doing all that cutting and stuff. Well, I got to tell you, I used a key card. I did. And if you know how a key card trick works, that probably still fooled you. Let me show you how we did it. Okay, so we start with a shuffled deck. And again, they really can be shuffled. We also start with a small packet of cards the spectator chooses. Now here's where we're going to start to do a couple of things that they aren't aware of. The spectators are going to, from the shuffle deck, take any packet they want. You would tell them 8, 10, 12 cards because you don't want a bunch of them because it's going to be harder to do with anything more than that, roughly. So they're going to take out some cards. Let's just say they remove, and they don't need to know how many it is, but they take out this many. Okay, whatever that is. All right, so they take out that many. We set this aside. Now here's where you do your first little secret thing. When you pick up the cards and fan them and show them to them, while you won't know what card they're thinking of, nor will you know what cards are in this packet, what you do want to know is how many cards are in this packet. So the reason for fanning them out like this and letting them memorize one of them is because what you're actually doing is you're counting this packet. This is the first of two things you're going to need to know. How many cards are in this packet? So you do it this way. So while they're looking at it, in my head, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I know the number 11. That's what I need to know for now. In the meantime, they've memorized a card. Let's say they've chosen this one just for the sake of this demonstration. Let's remember King of Diamonds, okay? And then they won't show us that, of course. That will be there. Their packet will be there, and the rest of the cards will be here. And you'll say, one thing I know about your card is it's right there, so let's make it hard to find. One of the ways we can do that is you can take your packet and shuffle it up. Now remember, I'm remembering the number 11. That's very important. Okay, so they're going to shuffle this up and say, here's how I want you to shuffle them up. You could just do one of these and say, just do an overhand shuffle. What I'm actually doing is the second thing I need to know. So I need to know the number 11, which is the number of cards here, and I need to know the card on top of this shuffled pack. So I'm just going to sneak a peek at what this card is as I'm shuffling. You can do that a couple of different ways. You can do like one of these little glimpses here. Do you see that? I can see that it's an ace of spades, right? That's the ace of spades. So as I'm shuffling, I can just kind of do one of these and I can look at it like that. Or if it's easier, if you want to make this be the key card, you can just shuffle it to the top and then go like this and remember this card. Okay, so let's say we did that. Now I know two things. I know this card, which is going to be called my key card, and I also am going to know the number 11. Now watch what happens when we assemble these. From the spectator standpoint, all they've done is they shuffled these, we've shuffled these, they've got a card that we don't know, which is true. So what I want you to do is put your shuffled packet on top of this shuffled deck. Now, what's happening is we're putting their cards, this packet, on top of the 10 of diamonds, as well as their card. Here's what I know now. 11 cards and the 10 of diamonds. Why does that matter? Because their card's going to be 11 cards away from the key, the 10 of diamonds. Pretty cool, right? Here's where everybody gets a little confused who knows the key card method. When we cut the cards like this, or when the spectator cuts the deck in half, you might think that the magician's going to use a key card because he could know this bottom card, couldn't he? Well, he could, except this gets shuffled as well. And so then all of a sudden, anybody aware of that method is going to go, uh-oh, how is he doing this? He can't shuffle those. He's going to need a key card, isn't he? Nope, because we've already got that taken care of. So this part gets shuffled. So from the spectator standpoint, a shuffled packet of cards they chose, a random card, shuffled the packet, shuffled the deck, shuffled this half again. There's a lot of shuffling going on, and boom, but we're set up. All I need to know is what the 11th card is from the 10 of diamonds. That will be their card. Now, here's the problem with that. There's a lot of tricks you could do if you just find that key card and count 11, but that's a little awkward, don't you think? If I find the 10 of diamonds and I just want, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would get to the king of diamonds, but that's a little weird. So what I like to do is take whatever card this is, whatever card you want, and say, Very few people know something about the 9 of spades, but it has special powers. It's a metal detector. And what I'm doing is I'm doing this little nonsense little clicking sound, which is kind of funny. Kind of sounds like a metal detector. Actually sounds like a Geiger counter, but nobody knows what that is anymore. That's a dated reference. And so we're making this little clicking sound, pretending like the card is finding and listening when I'm actually doing this. Remember, my card was 10 of diamonds, right there. It's very easy for me to go like this. And while I'm doing this and this, I can just count. I can literally count the clicks if I wanted to. But for me, I find it easier just to count these cards while I'm doing this. We can be very quiet. So now listen. Well, I want them to be quiet because I'm counting. But they can listen to the click. And I'm actually going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I just realized that their card's King of Diamonds because I just counted from there to there. So however you want to do that. And you can go slower than I'm going. I'm moving a little quick because this is a tutorial. I have a tendency to move fast when I'm teaching this. But you take it at a slower, more dramatic pace. And as you're doing this clicking sound, just count down however many cards you remembered in the pack. In my case, it was 11. Okay. So now the trick is pretty much done. You're just going to reveal their card, King of Diamonds, however you want to reveal it. You can be a little more entertaining about it than that. Anyway, the point of this is it looks like you it looks like you're going to use a key card, and then you dispel that by shuffling the cards again. And yet you are going to use a key card. Just going to do it in the ultimate way. It's an excellent way to use a key card, but an excellent way to reveal a card with that cute little clicking sound we call the metal detector trick. I hope you like that one.